everybody. Okay, so this is a Happenstance Journal update and changes. Okay, so y'all know from the beginning, this has kind of been a little bit of a fluid project because I decided to do it like super last minute, and I was like, let's just do it. So my original plan was that I was going to make all these focal images, right? Which, whoop, let me get it here. All these focal images, which y'all, is that 2 pages or 1 pages? I'm doing great. I hope you are doing great. I'm getting a lot of these made, and I'm having a really great time doing it. Oops, too many pages. So, I'm getting a lot of these done, and I'm having a great time. Did I turn 2? Oh, no, I skipped a page when I was putting them up. Those don't go there. You haven't seen these yet. And these go here. Okay, so anyway, I'm having a great time doing them. And I had set 29 days to be our day marker. Hang on, I'm getting these put up. All right, in the right place. And the reason I had picked 29 days is I was going to use this little, these little cheap notebooks. They're almost like traveler inserts, but they're just little cheap sewn ones you get from, I get these from Amazon. And I had covered it with this wallpaper, removable wallpaper, just so it'd be a little more durable. But what I started thinking about, I've been thinking about the backgrounds and how I want to do them. And do I want to do the 15 minutes, or do I want to do them differently? Do I want to make new cards? You know, I've been just kind of, because we're getting close, right? We're at day... What day are we at? 19? 19? I think we're at day 19. I'm not 100%. I think we're at day 19-ish. Okay, but what that means is, you know, I'd set 29 days as our original, because there were 29 sheets of this, not pages, because I was just going to count one side and not both sides. Because I wanted to have a full journal, but I didn't want to do that many pages. It was just too many. Especially because we're going to do each one 3 times, because we're going to do all the focal image, all the backgrounds, and then put them all together. So, once I got to thinking this through, I got to thinking about the fact that, okay, where's my demo background? I made a demo background back at the very beginning, of time. I made a demo background. Here it is. So let's say this is my background, right? This is my demo background that I did when I was explaining this whole idea. And that is red and orange. So let's say that this is the focal point I choose to use on it. All right. So that's all well and good, except I would need a transition between those two because they're too similar, right? So let's say that for my transition, I decided to use, trying to find something that's actually smaller so I don't have to tear something. Let's say I decided to use this, right? So I'm going to put this here and then that there so that there's, you know, there's a break between all the oranges. And what happens is that background is almost completely invisible now. It's completely covered up. Now, your background, some of it's always going to get covered up. But I don't want all of it gone, because if so, then why do we work so hard to make a cute background? So, and these I did end up probably making a little bigger than I should have. I probably should have made them all much smaller. Like, where are the ones? The punch ones. Where are my punch ones? Where are my punch ones? Are they not in here? Y'all, I know I put everybody away, so where are they? There's my houses. Oh, I bet they're behind my houses. They are. Okay, so like my punch ones, this was probably the size I should have been making, because if I was doing, you know, this background, this size focal image, and I needed to put a transition piece, well then it could be a much, you know, smaller transition piece, and you'd still be able to see it all, right? And that's strictly for example purposes, you know. So let's say I was going to do that one and that one. You could still see quite a bit of that background. But I didn't really make many this small. Most of them are this big. Or even the tag size ones. Those tag size ones are pretty big. So like this big. Alright, so if I'm doing that big, even without having to put in a transition piece, there's just no background left. So I got to thinking about this yesterday because I was thinking, you know, how do I want to do my backgrounds? Do we want to do, you know, 15 minutes, just like we did with these? Do we want to do mass make sessions where, you know, we pick one technique, skill, color, something, and just make as many as you can, as many as you want? Do you want to do it every day? Do you want to do it every week? You know, how do we want to do this? So, taking all this into consideration, the first thing I decided is, for the focal images I've already made, this journal is too small. All right? And for the pages I've already made and what I want to accomplish, there's too many pages. And it's not going to thicken out very well because it's just a single sewed journal. That's hard to say. Machine sewed at that. Okay? So I have scrapped this journal. So when I should have been making my video last night, I instead was making a new journal. All right, so hang on, let me get all this picked up and I will show you. All right, so what I did was I decided that I did want to go much larger. You do not have to, all right? If you think I still want to do that and I have made my focal images accordingly, go for it. If you haven't even started, because I think some of you probably haven't, just keep in mind that your focal image probably needs to be a quarter or less of your page size if you really want to be able to see your background and take into consideration that you may need a transition page between the two, or a transition layer. I say page, but it could be, you know, maybe you put gauze, maybe you put lace, muslin, tissue paper, you know, whatever. But if you have to transition between the two because you like them together, but you don't want them directly on each other, then you need to maybe make your image even smaller than a quarter, you know? So kind of keep that in mind. I basically just had fun making my focal images. And I made sure they would fit on my page, but I didn't really think about the fact that most of those would just obliterate that page as far as seeing the background. And I do want to see it. So I made a new one. All right, so my cover is 9.5 by 11.5. All right, and my pages are 9 by 11. And I did how big is this spine? You know, I just kind of did a that big spine. My spine is 1.25 inches wide. So that's a pretty good, which means, and I did 2 signatures, so you can see right there, there is plenty of room for this to fluff out. Like, it can pretty much double without bulging. I mean, that's a lot of room. So I did that intentionally. because now I did 2 signatures, 6 pages, which gives me, 2 pages, 3 sheets of paper. So that gives me 24 single side pages. So what I'm going to do, sorry, I thought I saw somebody outside, is do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. All right. And I'm going to make my backgrounds now 8.5 by 10. What that means is these smaller pages that I cut, they can become, oh, I put those up. All right, let's say this, okay, let's say this is my focal image, because I just packed them up and put them away. This is my focal image. And let's say I have a background here. All right, so let's say I need a transition page. Well, that can become my transition page and my focal image. And look, you can still see quite a bit of whatever this background was. So that's why I did this. I thought, if I'm going to put all this time to make cute backgrounds and love them, I don't want to just cover them up. I still want you to be able to see them. I also did it like this because this way I can make my journal page this way or this way. And I can do it back and forth. So this page could go this way, this page could go this way. It doesn't matter. It's your journal, all right? And I kind of do like the idea, because all my journals pretty much go this way. I kind of like the idea of it going this way, and I just might do that. We'll see. We'll see. But I do kind of like it. The only thing I'm not in love with it about is that if I do them all that way and make it open down, when I am working on this page, I've got to work on this page up here, like that. Do I hate that? I don't know. I've never done it. Never. I've never done a journal with this kind of orientation. So maybe I should. Maybe I should. We'll see. All right. So that is my first change. But here's the second change. Our number of videos I was going to do was based on how many pages I was going to do in that old journal. Remember, 29. This one only has 24. So I have refigured our timeline because I'm going to do 24. Now, you do not have to do 24. Please don't panic. If you want to make, I don't know, a 4-page journal, make a 4-page journal, you know? We're going to be, we started this February 13th. I had to think. We started this February 13th, all right? We will end, by my calculations, I have calculations, May 17th, all right? So February, March, April, May. If you want to make a 4-page journal and do 1 a month, go for it, all right? Go for it. It's your journal. It's your project. The fact that I overdo everything is me, all right? But also, I wanted to do this to encourage myself to create daily. I had intended to redo my art space in December. Come January, all I'd done is tear it up. It was unusable. So part of this was for me to get an art space set up again so I can art journal, which I will say I am loving this art space. It was also to encourage me to create art daily, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Y'all are keeping me accountable, and I like that. So I hope that it is encouraging you to try new things, to do things, to art journal, to create art, and have a good time, because that's the purpose of this group. And if so, I really, 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 really would love to see what you're making. But you don't have to do 24 pages, all right? You don't have to do 12. Do as many as you want to do as few as you want to do. But if you had already said, you know what, I made my journal based on 29 pages and I still want to do 29 pages, that's fine. I'm going to give you time to do that, all right? Because I'm going to give us a break between each set. So we're going to take the rest of that week and the full next week off between each set. That way, if you need to catch up, you can catch up. If you need to do prep work for the next step, you've got time to do prep work. You just need to chillax or do something else, you can. Even if you're only doing the 4 pages, right? 1 a month. I don't care. So I've got our dates. So we're going to finish focal images the 8th. Today's the 3rd. So we got 5 more. But we're not going to start the backgrounds until the 20th, right? That gives you a week and a half leeway to do whatever you need to do. Catch up, relax, prep work, start. Whatever. You're good. We'll do them from March 20th through April 12th. Okay? So those are the days we'll be doing backgrounds. Now, I am giving a lot of thought to this, and I think that I am going to keep my videos to 15 minutes, but I'm not necessarily going to keep my backgrounds to 15 minutes, because I think what I am probably going to do is mass make sessions, because if I get out my gel print, I don't want to make 1 gel print. I want to make 30 gel prints, right? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do those as prep work, kind of like I did the master boards. And then when I sit down and I pull my background cards, because I'm going to make new background cards, I've got some ideas on here, which I'm going to share. But let's say the first one on here is neurographical drawing, right? So let's say I'm going to do a neurographical drawing. So I grab one of those gel prints or a watercolor page that's dried or whatever, and I do it on that pre-prepped surface. That way it's like a 2-parter, but I don't have to wait on paint to dry. I don't have to, pull a gel print, wait on it to dry, then do my drawing. So yeah, I'm gonna do prep work just like I did on the others. So I'm gonna do some gel prints. I'm gonna do some more of the stencil and watercolors. I'm gonna do some more of the salt and watercolors. I am going to do some more collage masterboards. But I'm not going to tear them this small. 8.5 by 10. 8.5 by 10.5 is the size that I'm going to start with. So, during that time, I'm probably going to, I might post some videos of my prep work or just some images of my finished pieces for my prep work. I am going to make another set in a whole new color of my prompt cards because I'm going to do them for background. So we're going to have prompt cards just for backgrounds. I can use the colors from that, but I decided I wanted some separate things because I wanted neurographical drawing, gel prints, color-based collage, watercolor and salt, watercolor and stencil, coffee dye, vintage paper collage. I've got one here that says collage free for all. That's just sitting and playing. Just play. Monochromatic. If you can think of other background techniques. And I'm going to hit YouTube. I'm going to see, what is everybody else doing for their background techniques? Because there's probably some things that I've done, but I haven't done them recently. So anyway, if you've got some, put them in the comments. We'll put them on the cards. All right, so then I told you the backgrounds will go from March 20th to April 12th, all right? But then putting the final page together, the last section, we won't start those until April 24th. So again, we'll have that break time in the middle for you to relax, recharge, catch up, start, whatever. Or do prep work. Although, really for that last one, there's probably not going to be as much prep work because you'll have your focal images completely made. You'll have your backgrounds completely made. So really the only thing you're going to do is make a page using one of each. And that's I can't think what prep work we get, but maybe when I'm getting to this point for that, where I'm kind of looking ahead, maybe I'll think of some. We'll see. So the putting the actual finished pages together should go through April 24th through May 17th. All right. So May 18th, we should all have finished journals of whatever size you want. Like I said, you can do a 4-page journal. You can do a 24-page journal. It is completely up to you. All right. All right. So I am going to make today's page, knowing that I film ahead, because today's actually for the 3rd is posted already. But I'm going to make today's page, and then I'm going to enjoy the art retreat this weekend. So, the Lally Mall, I'll post whatever I do. I'll post pictures at the end of the weekend. And if you're doing it, I hope you will too. Please know that I truly, truly, truly do want to see your art. I love sharing my art in this. I love creating these ideas and projects for us to do together, but I love seeing your art. So please post it. All right? Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.